tweeting and stuff.
So, just yeah. So, what did you hear? I mean, what was going on?
Okay, so Elias Theodoro, bro, you remember?
Oh, I know who he is, of course. Yeah. So, what did you hear?
So you remember we talked about him on the show, and I talked about how I could beat him up, and that I didn't want to see that guy fight anymore. So it looks like the UFC agrees with me because he's been cut, bro.
Oh,
he's been cut from the roster. Yeah, man, they cut him from the roster.
Yes, that is good news indeed, man.
And you know what? He has a good record there. He's 9-3, bro. But he's so bad to watch. They just got rid of him as soon as he lost.
Yeah. You and I both agree about that guy, man. Just not fun to watch. I'm glad he's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's a question though. Where's he gonna go?
Honestly, I don't know, because who's gonna give him money to fight? He's terrible.
Some Indian casino somewhere.
They released a few other guys too. They released Brian Caraway. They released Wilson Hayes, who fought
Brian Caraway. Whatever happened to Brian Caraway, bro? Like,
he lost like 2 fights and he's gone now.
Yeah, but at one time they were talking about contention, contender, him being a contender, and now like, okay, man, that's a name I haven't heard in a while, bro.
Yeah, you're probably not going to hear it again for a while.
Yeah, for a time there, he was riding the coattails of his girlfriend at the time. I don't know if they're still together. Are they?
No, I don't think so. I think she has a baby with some other guy, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man, I've been out of the loop in that situation for a while, but
but yeah, man, these guys got the pink slip. Honestly, I do feel kind of bad for him. But that's the way it goes. John Fitch, who we also hate, he got cut from the UFC, and he was like 14-3 in the UFC. So it can happen to anyone, even if you're winning. If you're just terrible to watch on TV, I mean, nobody cares.
By the way, have you tweeted this out? That we're live.
Oh, what? I didn't even know we started the show. What's up?
Yeah. We're live. So, welcome everybody to Fight Culture Podcast, episode 9, bro. Episode 9. We're moving on up.
Episode 9, man. We made it this far. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead and speed up the show. And so basically today, this weekend, we really didn't have anything in the way of fights to really watch. I saw, I did end up seeing a couple of highlights from LFA, but nothing really to write home about. I mean, some good knockouts. But that said, like, I really couldn't get the fights, and everything else. Like, we didn't have no UFC, no Bellator, none of the big boys anyway. So we don't really have anything to talk about in the way of fights, but we do have some news, mixed martial arts news. So if you want, we could talk about Uriah Faber, man.
Oh, you mean the California kid who's 40?
The California kid who's 40 years old, not getting any younger. Meds, he's deciding to come back to the octagon. And while I was a big fan at one time of Uriah, I don't want to see this.
No, I mean, I think he still can fight.
It's not that he can't fight. It's just that he's not going to go anywhere. And I mean, the fight that they're talking about possibly doing is against Bermudez. Forgot his first name.
I think it's Manny Bermudez. I like that kid. He's really good.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point, bro. I don't want to see this. Like, I think Manny's gonna dust him.
Oh man, I mean, Faber just had a grappling match a couple days ago. He looked pretty good, actually.
Yeah, but did he fight a 24-year-old?
He was a young man who's the prodigy in this.
Yeah, but
he looked good, man.
Again, it's a grappling tournament, and while that's great, it's not a mixed martial arts tournament. So there's going to be some head kicks and punching.
Being old at those smaller weight classes too, you're really slow and you can't really keep up. But I don't know. I think his wrestling can at least save his life and prevent him from getting seriously injured in there. If he wants to fight, I mean, screw it. I mean, I think he wants to do it in Sacramento, which is where he's from.
Yeah,
Maybe a one-off, not like fully come back, but fight just the one time there.
yeah.
I was not opposed to it.
I was there live when he fought in the WEC. 2 or 3 times I saw him fight Jose Aldo.
Oh yeah,
I saw him fight what's his name? Mike
Mike Brown.
Mike Brown, where he broke his hands.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was crazy.
epic fights.
Epic fights. Yeah, definitely some of the best moments in my mixed martial arts, fandom. Watching the WC and watching them live was just spectacular. WC still my favorite. I've said it before. I'll say it.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the blue canvas, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think that really made it pop. I think they should bring that back.
Now, here's the thing. Here's some details. So, his last fight was in 2016, man, and he fought against Brad Pickett. Won that fight by decision. But
that was also in Sacramento.
Yeah,
I remember
and of course, before that, he lost to Jimmy Rivera and Dominic Cruz, both by decision. Though, like he has a lot of decision losses and a lot of decision wins.
He doesn't get finished a lot.
It's rare,
or ever really.
Yeah. Well, he got finished by Henan Barrow by TKO.
That was nonsense, though, man.
That was back in 2014.
But
he hasn't fought in a while. And my point is, what do you see if he does fight Manny? What happens here? I mean, do you think he can have a chance against Manny?
I'm sorry. I think he can absolutely win this fight. Absolutely. Will he win this fight? Probably not. But he's got a chance, man. Yeah. He's not completely he's not BJ Penn, is all I'm trying to say.
No, we don't know yet. I mean, it's been a few years. It's been almost 3 years, bro, since he's fought last. And again, it was against Brad Pickett. I'm not expecting much, okay, but I can see him getting to a decision at least. Would it be a win? I don't know.
I mean, Manny Bermudez, he has really, really slick submissions. So that's how I would see it finishing off, but I don't know.
Manny's 14-0, and most of his wins are by
triangle
submissions. I don't know. I think Manny's a stud. I think he can beat him soundly, but we'll see. We'll see. The 40-year-old man. I guess I got to stick up for the 40-year-olds out there. Me being 40.
Hey man, he's on your team.
Yeah, in my sure.
He's a recent dad too. He just had a kid as well. Maybe that's why he wants to fight. Maybe he just needs a little spending money.
Oh, maybe. Shout out to the Iron Lords podcast. Lord Cognito is in the building.
Hey, what's up, bro? You know what? I think this is the perfect time to answer that question from our listener Pablo III, right? Because he wanted us to talk about what makes a fighter overrated, and maybe talk about a fighter or two who you think is overrated. And actually, the reason I want to bring that up right now is because I think Uriah Faber kind of fits that description, and I say that because of this, right? Because it's really hard. I don't think many fighters are overrated because, fighters, you judge them by the names on their record, win or lose, depending on how they performed. And, where people stand usually just by that record. However, there are guys who, and I'm actually put Frankie Edgar in this group as well. Yeah, and not that he's bad, because this is not what I'm saying. And same thing for Uriah. But these guys forever, for years, continue to get title shot after title shot after title shot after title shot. And Frankie Edgar's about to get another title shot right now when he's on a whopping 1-fight winning streak.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Guys who just straight up live off the stuff that they did in the past. Not saying again that they're not great, but their great accomplishments from the past makes it easy for them to attain things in the future. For example, the only reason BJ Penn isn't cut from the UFC and is on a 7-fight losing streak is because his name is BJ Penn. Anybody else would not even get to 4 fights in the UFC. Anybody else would have been cut already.
Ooh, Cognito said, "Don't you dare! Don't! You better put some respect on Frankie's name."
I respect these guys. I'm just saying, if we want to talk about overrated, that's what I think overrated means right there in MMA. It's just guys who continue to get opportunities, not based on current performance, but based off the name that they have and things that they've done in the past.
I would agree with that, but I don't think I would throw Frankie's name into that hat. I definitely, with Uriah, I see it I can see what you're getting at. If you look at his past fights, especially the most recent ones, he didn't fare too well against guys that are really good, and just did okay against guys that are so-so. So I definitely see it there.
Another guy I want to put on that list. This is my last guy, Cody Garbrandt, and here's why. Who has he beat really? Cody Garbrandt got a belt and made a name off beating Dominic Cruz. That's a great name to have on your record, a great name. Yep. But who else is on that record? And nobody really that blows me away.
And I got to add, I think that was against Dominic Cruz that was already
injured. He hasn't even fought since.
Yeah,
he's hurt. Yeah. So that's a guy right there that I have to put on that list for sure.
I will put a stamp of approval on those two mentions, Uriah and Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, overrated. Yeah,
alpha male guys, which is funny.
Yeah, I mean, you could even say that Chad Mendes at one time was overrated, but yeah.
What do you think, bro? You got a couple names, maybe?
No, not offhand, but I mean, you said it best. When guys get fights based off past, like old, I'm talking about way outdated performances, and yeah, it's not a good thing, and I can see that being in that category of overrated. Myself, you could say that about all the greats, though. I mean, at the end of the day, you can say, Anderson Silva's overrated because he's not beating anybody anymore. But honestly, he's not overrated in the grand scheme of things. He's just outdated. He's past his prime. That's all. Uriah Faber, I mean, he fought the caliber of fighters he could have fought back then. He fought some of the best for 2013, 14, that era. He did really well. But yeah, nowadays, like I guess you could say for the past, 3 years before he retired, yeah, you're putting him in a column of overrated, I guess. I could see that. But yeah, it's a good question, but it's one of those that you really have to think long and hard about it,
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
You just don't want to throw a name in there, like Frankie Edgar, mind you. I wouldn't throw him in there, not just yet, man. Like, that dude's got a lot of heart. He fights but
I love Frankie, man.
I could say the same thing about Uriah. Uriah has a lot of heart, but
absolutely, yeah. I never seen Uriah quit in a fight ever.
Heart doesn't make greatness,
Helps
heart doesn't equal greatness. So I don't know.
But yeah, that's a question right there from our boy Pablo III. Feel free, anybody, to DM me or Fonz any questions that you want.
Yeah, that's a great question. Great question. And Cognito says it hurts about Cody. He regressed.
Yeah, 100%.
Well, you know what it is he fights very sloppy, and he trusts his hands so much that he forgets about defense and gets knocked out. That's his problem.
We got it's such a slow week of news, man, and honestly, there's been a bit of a malaise in MMA because it's just I feel like this ESPN era popped off so strong, and it's kind of going out with a whimper, and it's not going out because we're in the beginning of it, but it's, I don't know, like the fire's gone right now in this ESPN deal. Like, look at this card that we got coming up this weekend. Like, do you see the quality of card that we have here?
Dude, they're pushing out just whack card after whack card for the money. And we can see this. The fans can see this. Everybody's talking about this right now. It's ridiculous.
It's been for a few months in a row now that you have a fight card with, I don't know, 10 fights of just fluff, and then maybe 2 or 3 good fights. And it's like, how long is the UFC even like making ESPN money doing this? Like,
you gotta wonder, how is this sustainable, right?
The product is in the toilet right now.
Yeah,
they're being cheap, and they don't want to pay their like really popular guys to fight.
It reminds me when they put out New Coke back in the day. You might be too young for that, but when they tried that deal, it didn't work. People didn't like it. Nobody was buying. And this is how I feel with this deal with ESPN Plus right now. A lot of people are mad about the ESPN Plus. And I know we covered that last week and talked a little bit about that deal. But You're right. It's the caliber of fights. What we're getting now is just not up to par. It's not what we expect, especially out of the UFC, the biggest MMA organization in the world. You know, it's not what
Yeah,
we
who's
come.
supposed to have all the best fighters. Um,
Shout out to
yeah,
Luke.
it's not what it's supposed. It's the product is not. I'm not getting what I'm supposed to be getting. You understand? I'm getting bamboozled, deceived
Mhm.
out here. And
And you're
they
doing
need
and
to
you're
step
doing
their games up.
you're getting all that for $4.99 a month, I believe. Like before in the past, when it used to be on these other, Fox deal and stuff, at least you were getting those fights for free.
Exactly. And there's other organizations out there who are putting on really good shows, and the UFC is just resting on its laurels when ONE FC is out here doing good, and Bellator is out here putting on shows. We got Patricio Pitbull, double champ over there.
Yeah. That's why
Talking
I
about
told you I preferred the Bellator card that other week. I forgot what it was. But anyway, there was a UFC and Bellator card same night. I preferred the Bellator card. It was better. And
it
that
was.
shouldn't happen.
It was. The only really big moment of the weekend was that knockout, Lima versus MVP. We're still talking about that KO.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I posted on Twitter. If you don't follow me at Jay Fonzarelli, you can go there and see. I posted the meme where somebody made a little video of Lima turning into Thor and grabbing that hammer and just smashing on MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Speaking of Patricio Pitbull, you told me that he was talking some
Oh,
smack.
Patricio Pitbull Patricky. Yeah. So Patricio Ferrer of Bellator, dual title holder over there for the featherweight and lightweight divisions. He's now saying that he can dust Max Holloway easily. He can beat him. He's for sure. He's 100% for sure, Meds, that he can just run through Max Holloway. And I say no. I say no. There's no way. Now, think about it this way. I look at Patricky Pitbull and I seen, if you look down at the people he's fought some good
I
fighters.
mean
Patricio, yeah, that's right.
Patricky's his brother.
Patricky's
They
his
have
brother.
the same name basically.
I get so mixed up with those two. I hate that, right? But anyway, Patricio.
Yeah.
And I think they both call each other Pitbull too.
Yeah, they're both Pitbull.
That's ridiculous. Like change that. One of you stop being a Pitbull, the other one be like a poodle or something. I'll choose Patricky. He can be the poodle. But anyway, so basically he's saying he can dust Holloway at 145 division. But if you look at the caliber of fighters each have fought, I think Holloway's faced much tougher opponents, hands down. And I mean, as good as Stroud is, in my opinion, and in your opinion as well, we both like Stroud, right?
Daniel Strauss?
Yeah, Daniel Strauss. Yeah, sorry, Stroud. Sorry. Daniel Strauss has beat him, and I just feel like Holloway would beat both those guys pretty easily. And I know that's MMA math, but I'm just looking at what Patricio brings, and he's a great fighter, but I think Holloway is a better fighter all the way around.
I mean, I agree with you, but I also don't think that it's something crazy or out of the question. I think Patricio Pitbull can absolutely potentially beat Max Holloway in a fight.
They could. I think they could hang with each other, but I'm saying I don't think that he can just dust and run right through Holloway. I don't think it's that easy as he's making it sound.
I mean, I don't think he'd run through him, but if you look at Patricio Pitbull's record, which I'm looking at right now, it's absolutely insane, right? He's beaten pretty much everybody they've put in front of him. And I'm looking here. He's lost to 4 guys. He's got 4 losses. 1 to Benson Henderson, and I watched that fight. He was beating the crap out of Benson Henderson, and he hurt his leg while beating the crap out of Benson Henderson. And that was a TKO loss right there because of the injury. Daniel Strauss lost to him by decision, but he's got 3 wins over Daniel Strauss, to that 1 loss. He's beaten him 3 times. So It is what it is. And then Pat Curran, who lost also he avenged all his losses, and he just smoked Michael Chandler.
Yeah. But if you look at the Blessed One's record, the guy hasn't lost in the last 13 featherweight bouts.
Mhm,
Going back to
mhm.
2013, he has not lost a fight. And he's fought against the best of the best. And honestly, he's hung in there with even Conor McGregor couldn't knock him out. And this is when I believe during that fight he was even injured when he fought Conor.
Mhm.
Um, I just think he's got more tools. I think he can defend against. I think he's a better fighter than Michael Chandler, and I think that Michael
Yeah,
Chandler
yeah.
got smoked. I think if you were to replay that fight, I don't think Michael Chandler would keep getting smoked like that. But
No, I thought that was a bit fluky myself,
and
but
and, and it
a
was
win is a win.
and it was a bit. I don't know if I want to say it was premature to stop the fight, but the ref's got to do his thing, protect
Mhm.
the fighter. They could have went longer though. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. I thought so. But on the
Anyway,
record books, that's what it says, man. It says W.
anyways,
But
I'm not going against Holloway at featherweight. Holloway, I believe, would beat him.
just like he's gonna beat your boy Frankie.
Oh,
He's gonna be Frankie like a drum, man. I'm scared for Frankie's safety, but you know what it is, what it is.
so what does
Just
the
like
chat
Frankie
think?
would say.
I want to ask the chat. Chat, what do you guys think? Is it going to be Frankie Edgar or is it going to be Holloway during that matchup? Who's going to win?
I
So,
can't wait for that fight. That fight might be Frankie's last. I don't know.
oh, yeah, it could be. Who knows? If let's say Holloway sleeps Edgar, I think Edgar can possibly. I could see him retiring and saying, I'm done with this. I mean, he's been on that road before, on that fence before, hasn't he? Like
Yeah.
after a fight he's lost really big, he's basically retired. Or
If I'm him though, if I lose, I drop down to bantamweight and give it a shot there.
I mean, hasn't he already talked retirement before? Hasn't that
Yeah.
happened? Yeah. I,
Ah, Lunkin Lunker in the chat says Holloway will put Edgar in a coma.
Lunkin, I have to agree, man. Especially, I think after Holloway lost his last fight against Poirier, I think that he has a lot to prove, and I think he's going to prove it against Edgar. He's really going to dish it out against Edgar, especially
Yeah.
being a bigger guy. It's
After
yeah,
that loss to Poirier, for sure, he's gonna be he's got to get a win under his belt to get that taste out of his mouth. So
yeah, he's
poor
mad.
Edgar. But hey, man, that's it's a slim week. It's a holiday weekend. Hope you've
Mhm.
been having a good weekend. I've been enjoying myself.
Yeah,
Well, we
yeah,
finally.
yeah. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was gonna say I made myself some street tacos today.
Mm.
It's very good, very good.
Yeah, man. Got the thing popping in the back on the deck. I was doing all that. I'm gonna go right back to it after this show. And especially because this week, there were no fights, and I was having that withdrawal. Even though I don't know if you watched the PFL this Thursday, like I told y'all to watch. There
Yeah,
was
the
a
PF.
KO that happened in 10 seconds,
Okay,
bro.
that's what I was talking about earlier when we
Did
started
you
the
see
show.
that KO?
I think I called it the PFA. I don't know why I said that, but anyway, yeah, the PFL. I didn't get to watch it. I didn't see it. I didn't have a way to watch it. Let's say. But I did see the highlights and I saw the KO and it was crazy, right?
I just dropped the link in the chat if anybody wants to click that and check out that knockout because it was bananas. So definitely check that out. And like I said last week, if you have that withdrawal because the UFC wasn't around, check out the PFL. And you know what, the PFL did deliver for me, so I'm happy about that. But this weekend we do have some fights going on.
Well, let's go ahead and pick some fights here.
Yeah, it's in Stockholm, Sweden. So fights happening at 1 p.m., which is an odd time, but screw it. Earlier the better for me. Again, kind of a crap card, but we've got three guys up top who I think we should definitely, pay attention to.
Okay.
The first being Jimmy Manoa, because I think this is a crossroads fight for him. He's fighting Alexander Rakic, who I've seen fight a few times. He's hasn't lost in what I've seen, and he's built like a statue. He's a freak athletically, and Jimmy Manoa has been KO'd like 3 times in a row. So if he loses here, I think he might be done in the UFC. And I'm picking him to lose, man. I think he's washed up and old. What do you think, Fonz?
How many fights does this other guy have in the UFC?
I want to say like 4. He's either 3-1 or 4-0.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go with Manawa. I'm going to say Manawa gets lucky with a TKO.
TKO. What you thinking? First round, second round?
Second.
Oh man, we'll see what
I
happens.
want to make this interesting. I want to make this interesting, and also, I feel kind of bad for Manawa. One time,
Yeah,
he was a stud, man.
I do feel bad for Manawa because he's been getting like put to sleep, man, and it sucks. It sucks to see it.
Yeah. Hopefully, he gets one for himself, though. Gets lucky here.
Yeah, he's fighting here, in Sweden, and this card actually, the top three guys whose fights we're picking, they actually all train together. Latifi, and Gustafsson are all teammates, so hopefully they can all walk out of here with victories. But we've got Alexander Rakis. I'm gonna take him by first round TKO, man, because I just can't trust his chin anymore. Manoa's chin, it's over.
Unfortunately, you're probably right, but I'm still going to stick with him, man. It's lucky.
In the co-main event, we got his teammate Alir Latifi, who they've actually fought before, I think. He's going up against Volkan Oezdemir, who did challenge Daniel Cormier for the title just last year, and he's fallen on hard times. I think he's lost like 3 in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Latifi. I'm going to say I'm going to go second round KO.
Damn, I think if he loses this fight, he might be out of the UFC as well, man. For Volkan Oezdemir.
If he dies, he dies.
Which is crazy how fast you can rise and fall in MMA, because Oezdemir came in and he won 3 in a row. He starched some guys, including Manoa, and fought for the title. And look at him now. Lost 3 in a row, on the verge of being cut from the promotion. It's crazy. But I'm actually gonna, against Alir Latifi. Damn, it's tough to pick Oezdemir. I'm gonna have to go with Latifi as well, but by second round submission.
Okay, good call. We're both going second round. I'm going KO. You're going submission. Good call. So I guess we're gonna pick the main event.
The main event, aka the showdown between John Jones victims.
Yeah, I'll say it right now, real fast. Alexander Gustafsson is going to win this fight, and I think it'll go decision his way.
I don't want to pick. I don't want to pick Alexander Gustafsson because I like Anthony Smith. Even though I know you hate him, but I really like Anthony Smith.
Go ahead.
And I kind of don't like Gustafsson. I don't know what it is, but yeah, I want to pick Anthony Smith, but I'm not that stupid. Anthony Smith compared to Gustafsson does not match up skill wise at all. I expect Gustafsson to pick him apart and TKO him within the first 4 minutes of the fight.
So, okay, so that's what you're going for, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I can't pick Anthony Smith, man.
But man, Anthony Smith really pissed me off with what he did or didn't do against Jones. God, Anthony Smith, man, what a joke. Like, honestly, this guy's a big specimen. I mean, he looks like a beast. I mean, we've seen him fight well against other people, and then he goes up against Jones, and it's like a deer in headlights. I can't even throw a punch. I can't even throw a kick. Like, that was so horrible. And that's what happens when you're in there. But that's what left a bad taste in my mouth when it comes to Anthony Smith. That's why I don't like him. Like, you were there, you had a title shot and you blew it. You didn't even try, bro.
Do you think he should have taken the DQ win when he had the chance against Jones?
I would have thought that was chicken shit had he done.
You would have thought of him even worse had he done that.
Yeah. I don't like that kind of, chicken shit win. I want to see you go in there and try to fight. No, if the guy legit, took the DQ, but he was legit trying to fight and everything, and he couldn't go, keep going. Yeah, take the win. But nah, man, like that Anthony Smith didn't show anything during the fight. I'm surprised though that you like him so much. I mean, what makes you a fan?
He's just like the ultimate underdog. You know what I mean? He every time he loses, he picks himself back up and he keeps going. You know, that's something that I can admire. You know, the guy has a bunch of losses, like 13 or 14, but he always comes back and he puts on fun fights. And you know,
Yeah.
even though he loses, he's not scared to lose. And I like a guy who fights like that, because some guys fight. I mean, some guys lose after being undefeated for a while, and then their entire style changes. They start getting conservative and boring. But you know, he doesn't. He hasn't done that. So you know, I admire him for that. We have a question here from a listener. Fight Night Picks. He says, "Who has more to lose in his main event here in Stockholm?" What do you think, bro?
Of course, I'm going to go with Gustafson. I think he has more to lose in that fight, especially against Anthony Smith. You know, because a lot of people, especially during the Gustafson versus Jones fight, a lot of people had Gustafson winning that fight when they fought back in the day, that first one. And a lot of them say that their styles were similar. And I think that fighting against Anthony Smith, if Anthony Smith beats him, it's going to look pretty bad on Gustafson, man. Especially after that loss against Jones. Like that just, it really puts a bad taste in my mouth, man, with Anthony. And that was his last fight, bro. That was his last fight.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Same for Gustafson.
Before that, it looks like Anthony Smith beat Ozdemir, your boy Ozdemir.
Yeah, he choked him out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's been fighting well up at 205, you know.
Yeah, but, I mean, he beat a couple of old guys pretty well too. Shogun and Rashad Evans.
Hey man, you can only beat who they put in front of you, man.
Yeah, exactly. But at least he fought them, right? At least he fought. And then that's the thing. Like, look, he can earn my respect just by coming out there and fighting.
He's gonna come out and fight this weekend.
If he comes out and dusts Gustafson, he'll earn my respect.
It's Gustafson said, like our boy Pablo III here says, Gustafson said if he loses to a guy like Smith, that he might, you know, pull the plug on his career.
Yeah.
But you know, that's him just throwing shade, honestly. I don't think there's any shame in losing to Anthony Smith. I think he's a good fighter.
I think that's all based on the fact that he didn't put up a fight against Jones. I think many people just lost a lot of respect for Anthony Smith.
Yeah.
Because of that fight.
The winner, I disagree with that. I think a lot of people found it endearing that he didn't take the DQ loss, you know?
Endearing my ass.
Yeah, but
he felt like total shit. Yeah, he didn't fight. Yeah, great. I mean, very endearing.
But yeah, what was I gonna say? The winner of this fight, I think, sets himself up though, right? Because
dude, we might as well call that fight cute, man. Because it was endearing,
on,
bro.
Man, you know what? Anthony Smith is going to show you what's what this Saturday. All right.
I hope he does, because I want to see a fight. That's the thing. Like, people I don't like in this fight game, when I see the fights come, you know, when I see these fight matchups and it's fight day and I start to watch their fight, I want to see them fight good, regardless. Either, you know, I want to see him get dusted real quick, or at least put up a good fight, you know, something. And, you know, we don't get that usually from some of these guys that, I don't know. Like,
hey, Anthony Smith brings it, man. He's going to bring it this Saturday.
Yeah, you could say he used to bring it, but after Jones, we'll see how he looks.
Hey, man, that was the GOAT, all right? You know, you can't blame Anthony Smith for looking like that against the GOAT, all right? Anyway, because how was your boy Gustafson looking? Didn't Anthony Smith go the distance? Or not?
He went the distance.
Did he get finished?
No, I think
Gustafson got finished in the third round, bro. He got smashed.
But Gustafson was fighting. It wasn't like he was standing there staring. I just want to see a great fight. That's all.
I think we're gonna get that at least for a round or two.
Yeah, we'll see.
But the winner of this fight, man, I think sets himself up for a fight against Luke Rockhold. They've been both of these guys have been talking trash back and forth with Luke Rockhold.
Luke Rockhold.
Yeah, Luke Rockhold's moving up to 205. He's fighting Jan Blachowicz, and if he wins that, which, you know, we have to see if he does win that, he's definitely going to fight the winner of this fight.
My question would be, who did Luke Rockhold get knocked out by last?
Yoel Romero.
Yeah. Yeah, he got knocked out all right.
That was a really bad KO.
Yeah, Michael Bisping messed him up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit chinny, but I think it's because of the weight cut.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Luke, man, I had so much hope for Luke coming from Strikeforce. You know, I liked the guy. I thought he looked like, you know, he was going to be a great fighter, but something happened to him. I don't know what it was. Maybe the caliber of fighters he started fighting.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. But anyway, so yeah, so you're going Gustafson as well?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
All right. All right. You don't have any, you know, real confidence in your boy Anthony?
Um,
Come on, bro. Put your money where your mouth is. You're going. You like
I'm not. Listen, I'm not gonna pick Anthony Smith. All right, I like Anthony Smith, but he's not on that level,
bro. He's one.
He could certainly come out like a like a bull in a china shop and smash Gustafson real fast, like spark him out real quick. But I doubt it. So I'm just gonna play it safe. Go with Gus.
All right.
That's all I got for you this week, man.
Yeah, that's all we have. So unfortunately, that's all we're going to talk about today. We're going to get off this mic and go do other things. It's Memorial Day. Everybody have a happy, great Memorial Day. If you want to close the show, Meds, please do so.
Absolutely. Hope everybody been having a great weekend and enjoys their Memorial Day. Thanks for coming out and listening to us two knuckleheads talk fighting. I'm Jay Medina. That's Fonzarelli. Reach me at Jay Medina at actually the real Meds _ on Twitter, and reach Jay Fonzarelli at Jay Fonzarelli on Twitter. And tweet at us, DM us a question for the show. Call up our number. What's that number, Fonz?
747-344-4863. That's 747-FIGHT-ME. Call us up. Don't be shy. It's just a number. Voicemail goes right to voicemail. You don't have to worry about somebody answering and saying, hey, I'm at work right now. You're not supposed to call this line yet. None of that BS. You can call it any time of day, night. Leave a voicemail, and we'll get back to you live on the show next week.
Absolutely. Any questions you drop will be answered next week. And thanks for coming by to episode 9. And hope to see you in episode 10. That's Jay Fonzarelli. I'm Jay Medina, and this is Fight Culture
Podcast.